All right, everybody. Yesterday I promised you to show you the power of artificial intelligence. I'm actually sitting here on my computer right now. I am going to give an example. I obviously will not show you precisely how I do it or the applications that I use and the system that I use, because that is the proprietary information, but I want to show you kind of a walkthrough and explain it to you. So a potential client of mine who wants to see the product sent me paperwork for a client, and he wants me to prepare what is called a pendente lite motion. A pendente lite motion is a motion where one spouse is asking the other spouse for monetary support pending the outcome of the divorce. So I want to walk you through that, and what I will do is I will post online the results of what I did, redacting the names and certain identifiers to maintain privilege and confidentiality of the parties involved. So the first thing I do is I want to go and do some legal research using the system that I use, and I put the jurisdiction to New Jersey, and my search term is pendente lite support family cases divorce standards. So I'll give you the top 15 cases that 10 cases that it gave me. It gave me Crow versus DeGioia, which is the main case in the state of New Jersey on injunctive relief. It gave me a case, Schindel versus Schindel, Rose versus Sapo. It's a 2002 appellate division case. Pezzino versus Pezzino, Cruz versus Cruz, Linder versus Linder, Kayan v. Kayan, Malamo versus Malamo, Mowry versus Mowry, Maddox v. Maddox, Waltz v. Waltz. I'm not going to continue. So now what I want to do is I want to save these cases. I'm going to save them under a new folder. Part of the process here is being very organized with your artificial intelligence research. So I'm making a folder, pendente lite legal research. And I will save it in there, pendente lite research. Now I'm going to go into another AI application, and I am now going to have the AI review the tax returns for the parties, as well as what is commonly called the case information statements. Case information statements are financial worksheets that the state of New Jersey uses in order to properly evaluate cases. So now I uploaded my documents to the AI, and now I will prompt it. So what I have done is I have prompted the AI. What I've done as part of the AI is I have attached husband's tax returns, wife's tax returns. I've attached husband's confidential litigant sheet, wife's confidential litigant sheet, and I've asked the AI to make a determination as to what the marital lifestyle was based on the financials that have been provided by the parties. So the AI is right now working through the analysis. I'm going to copy and I'm going to create a new document. Again, I told you to be very organized with this. I'm going to call this one financial analysis. And we're going to save that as a Word file. I'm going to save it in the folder that I created. I want to upload some additional files. There were some issues in this case regarding credit cards that aren't being paid. I'm also going to take, so now I'm taking the credit card information, I'm taking my Word document, which provides the analysis, update and retype, that's the prompt, the financial analysis, and incorporate the issues regarding the credit cards. The AI is telling me it's gathering its thoughts, it is revising. One thing I want everyone to be clear through this analysis, and I am running through this somewhat quickly. I'm doing this as an example, as an educational example. However, it is incumbent ethically and both professionally and ethically to verify everything we're doing here. You do have an obligation to review the documents and to review the output of this. There are the potential for mistakes, and they could be grave mistakes. So the fact that we're getting an assistant does not negate our ability to verify what is being created. So now it gave me a new financial analysis incorporating additional information. Now I am going to use my financial analysis and the legal research that I did earlier. And I'm going to ask it All right, so what I did now is I've uploaded the financial analysis document that I have created that gives me the financial analysis of both parties. Again, subject to verification. I'm doing this quite quickly in order to give everybody an example. I also uploaded the law, and I am asking the AI to draft me a very detailed certification of the client utilizing both the financial analysis and the law. So click. So right now the AI is generating a very detailed certification which is incorporating the financial analysis that was done before. So just to recapitulate, I first conducted the financial analysis, and this is where being an attorney requires help. You just don't punch it all into the AI and ask the AI to do all the work for you. You have to break it down for the artificial intelligence so you can ultimately get the appropriate result. Bottom line is what I just finished doing is I just created a very detailed certification utilizing the financial analysis that I did, utilizing the law. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste that into another document. So now I have a draft certification. I'm going to save that as draft certification. Now the last step, we're going to need a legal brief. So I want to upload, break it down. We're going to upload the legal research, the financial analysis, and the draft certification. So now I've uploaded the draft certification, the financial analysis, and the legal research, and I'm asking it to craft a legal argument for me. Okay, so it did something, the AI, that I don't like, which I often believe is subject to potential hallucination, is that it used exact quotations. I don't like to use exact quotations unless appropriately verified after the fact. So I'm going to revise the brief that it drafted for me and ask it to review any quotes that are in the brief. almost done with the brief at this point. All right, so now I'm going to copy this. I'm going to create this in another document. However, but now we have a legal brief, and we have to now make sure that this is not hallucinated. So, the first thing we do is I go into the first AI. I do a two-part check for hallucinations. The first check appears that there are no hallucinations, that the cases and the citations are accurate. I'm now going to go into a secondary system. And then the second system is a little more detailed. I am asking it to check the legal sources and to check the legal propositions that have been propounded. The result is each citation used accurately supports the legal propositions associated with it. Now, if you really want to get advanced, I will put the argument here along with my research and my financial analysis, and I will ask it any arguments that should be strengthened or addressed better. So now I've used, just so you understand the way the system works, I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different AI tools . Now, this AI that I use provided me some suggestions. Please incorporate so now I'm going to go back to the original AI. And I'm going to ask that AI to update the arguments based on the suggestions that the other AI gave me. So I've literally used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different AIs, all of which I have on one monitor, which I call my virtual paralegal. And I've crafted a really in-depth argument why this individual needs pendente lite support. Still typing. I will say it does type a heck of a lot faster than any secretary I've ever had, any paralegal I've ever had, and faster than I can ever type in a lifetime. All right, so I finished the argument. I am now going to copy and paste it into the document I have. I will be uploading this document with appropriate redactions. Again, this is not the ultimate final product. This product has to be verified and checked over by the attorney. Ultimately, what this is again, a very high-powered paralegal. It is a very good paralegal. It is probably the best paralegal anybody on earth can have. What I'm doing one last time is I am checking for hallucinations. Run the check again. I'm running the check again. The first check came back fine. Everything looked accurate. I'm running now the second check. And the final check was the legal arguments and all case citations in this draft accurately reflect New Jersey law regarding pendente lite support. The authorities cited directly support each legal proposition as articulated. So there you have it. I don't know what else to tell you. This video has taken 25 minutes. It is probably, unless you are an attorney trying to figure out what has just happened, one of the most boring videos on God's green earth. However, I will tell you, unless you're able to draft a brief of this caliber within 25 minutes, or your paralegal can, you cannot afford to not use this technology. The technology